everybody, welcome to this wonderful month, or well almost a month, of this art exhibition sponsored by the Woodbridge Community Centre under the auspices of Brian Molnar. Alright, tonight you're here to see this beautiful artwork, to enjoy some tapas and to see some dancing. First, I want to introduce you to a lovely artist, Michael Graham, and he will talk about his paintings. Miguel, start.
Sure. Well, thank you very much. Well, first off, I'd like to let you know that I started flamenco. I danced flamenco. I learned by first initially approaching Alvarado Spanish dance, and I asked them if I could come and join their classes, and they welcomed me in with open arms, which I was really glad. Everybody was very kind, and so I took to this dance, and I really liked it. However, in the past, I grew up being an artist, and as I was learning how to dance flamenco, I was impressed by the beauty of the dance, the gestures, the passion, and I decided that I was going to, as an artist, put some of these feelings I have about the dance and Alvarado to pencil and paper and paint. So what I did today, what you're seeing right now, is some of the work that I created, and this particular one here is I just did a lot of drawings of people dancing flamenco, and I selected the drawings that I wanted on this painting, and I arranged them as if they were dancing folk dance. And we have a famous guitarist and a singer, which is singing as they're dancing a folk dance. We call it sevillanas. Now, this is interesting because when I was doing it, I had no idea. I was just placing the figures on there, but I wasn't sure where were they, what's the surroundings, and I had to come up with some kind of idea to create the surroundings. So I just put the blue and I put the gold, and then the top part of the painting, I did a little study of my town that I live in. That kind of goes down into there's a railroad and there's the town and it goes down a hill, and so what I did is I put that effect on the top. It's really in Pennsylvania. So, and it created a nice little outdoor Sevillana folk dance. So this is, very proud of this. However, these right here, these three drawings I also did, and they were dancing Sevillanas, which is the folk dance of Spain. And so I was invited to be here as an artist, but I love dancing with Alvarado, and I study with a lady named Lisa Badalico, and she's been helping me tremendously. So I'm proud to be here. And
Alright, we go to these beautiful paintings over here. The artist is Libby Ramage, all right? And she does a very different style, and it's beautiful. And she teaches. So I want Libby Ramage to talk about herself. There you go, Libby.
Thank you, Ava. So I started studying flamenco in 2007 with Lisa Batalico, who's artistic director, I think, of Alvarado, not sure. And these pieces, most of these pieces are works that were what I sort of found from learning some of these dances, and also was introduced to the Spanish poet Garcia Lorca. So three of these, the bodies are fragments of English translations of Lorca's poems that he did on gitanas and flamenco. So this one is one that he did on Soleá, this is Siguería, and this one is just a poem about two people dancing flamenco. I call this one La Pasada because they're sort of passing each other. The way I work is I use a lot of found objects in my work. I use poem fragments, handmade paper. This piece has maps and music pieces in it. And I like the idea of combining sort of found ephemera with the emotion that goes into my work, and especially flamenco, which is very emotional dancing. And I think that my exposure to this dance art form, which I am not a dancer at all, released a lot of ideas and emotions that I hope that the work portrays.
That's beautiful. I'm coming over, Libby.
Okay.
I just want to remind people, if they go outside, we have storyboards. We have, on the last one, you'll find Michael and Libby dancing. So you
That's right.
can't say you're not a dancer.
Well, that's true.
All
Well, I'm
right?
not at your level, put it that way.
To another famous person. Why? Because he plays music. He plays the viola for Alvarado and he arranges a lot of the music. So Joel, we're going to go over to your paintings. Would you walk over to your paintings?
Okay, here we go. I'm Joel Rudin. As Ava said, I've been not a dancer, but I've been a professional violist most of my life, and I perform and have performed for the last 2 decades a great deal with Alvarado. That's been a tremendous pleasure and a delight for me and challenge. And in addition to being a violist, I've been drawing my entire life. Everything from like cartoons and comic strips to kind of, I would describe as kind of ethereal pastel landscapes I've created, which have been seen in exhibits all in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York. But also, like these other wonderful artists here, flamenco has been a big inspiration to me too. And one additional detail here is that Lisa Batalico, who is a principal dancer, the other people mentioned with Alvarado, and an assistant director, happens to be my wife. It's my spouse, so I have a long history with flamenco, and I remember the first time I saw flamenco many, many years ago, I was just like, my eyes popped out of my head. I was just so amazed by it. And of course, wonderful to see Lisa over the years dancing and developing as an artist. So it's only natural that I have produced some works that are inspired by flamenco. These pieces actually are based on sketches I did a few years ago at a live outdoor performance of Alborada, and I made these fast sketches. And then what I did is actually I photoshopped them, I digitalized them. So I took my sketches out of the sketchbook and I kind of played around with them in Photoshop. And at first I was going to do something like really, I want to do wild and colorful, but then I kind of liked this sort of minimalist thing I came up with, different filters and playing with the contrast, and I decided to just kind of leave it as is and not get too fancy with bright colors. And in some ways I'd like to think I captured, there's a certain starkness of flamenco. There's the drama, there's the bright colors, but there's a kind of edgy kind of gutsiness to it. So maybe some of that comes across in these pieces. And this idea here we have of the soleá, which is a very solemn dance in flamenco. So I think maybe I created an idea or atmosphere of loneliness or sadness. And this one more festive. This drawing is based on a guitarist who I've known many, many years and performed with Alborada a good deal. You can see him in the posters there. Arturo Martinez. It's based on, that's a sketch of him performing. So, and I performed with him like over the course of many, many years. And then over here, just to go, and then of course I have this piece called Baila Hora, and I did a kind of a reverse effect. The original does not look like this with the white on the black or textured background. I actually did, I just kind of, I reversed the image in Photoshop, so you wound up with a white on a black or dark textured background, so it kind of makes a dramatic effect. And we called it Baila Hora, like a very formidable sort of female dancer. And then these other sketches are based, I think, if I recall, on photographs of Lisa. All three of them. And this one is based on a photo of Lisa with a long bata, they call, a long train behind the costume. And this one called Aire del Montón, with, you can see the monton, the shawl flying through the air, and this similar, just an action pose there. And these are pastel mixed media. This is how I've been working a lot in the past few years with pastel, and then adding other kinds of media like crayon, China marker, all sorts of things.
Wow.
So that about summarizes my contribution.
stand in front of her two paintings over here.
Hello.
This is Renee Ibarbo. Lovely name. All right? And she's been with Alvarado 15 years. There you go. Go ahead, Renee.
Hello, my name is Renee Ibarbo. I am a company dancer with Alvarado Spanish Dance Theater, and I just celebrated my 6th anniversary as a dancer. I've been studying with Eva Lucena for 15 years, and in there also with some of our other dancers, Lisa Batalico, formerly of Alvarado, Claudia Morena, and others that we have in our company, and just admired flamenco painting. This is my debut at an exhibition. Very honored to be included. It's a hobby of mine from childhood. I remember looking at photographs as a young girl and just copying them down on paper, and I like to think that family genes have contributed to some of my skill. My great-grandfather on my mother's side was an artist in pre-war Germany, and a few paintings out there under his name. So it's very honorable for my family to have this moment to continue the artistry. These particular paintings I actually produced for my classroom because my main occupation, amongst many things, is a Spanish teacher. And that's kind of where I got into dancing, this wonderful art form. But then, of course, wanting to bring it into my classroom and show the culture and just beauty of Spain to my room, I produced these two paintings. I believe I did this one first, and only recently named it Te Veo, which in English would be I see you, and it inspired the name both by my guy, where he feels, and the beauty of art is that you can feel however you want to feel, and it is exactly how you should. He said that this beautiful dancer was dancing to someone out there, and she could see that person. And then this one kind of inspired me. And unfortunately, I can't say this is out of my own imagination or pictures of any of our dancers in Alvarado. I was on the internet and found pictures that I really just spoke to me, and this one I call abrazado, which means embraced, and I imagine it being a moment in a silencio in the alegrías, where the dancer is feeling very just embraced by the music and the dance itself. I have produced many works for gifts as well as for commission. These two are not for sale in particular, but I probably could produce something very similar, if not almost exact, if you were interested. And I love to really focus on either just pencil on paper, or in this case, these two are oil pastel on paper, and it's something that I enjoy. Haven't done too recently for just lack of time with actually dancing the art form, but of course would love to get back into it a little bit more and produce works of art for other people.
beautiful, Renee, thank you. We have other artists, but this artist lives in Florida. This artist, Charles Seal, has health issues, so we couldn't bring him out here. We have this lovely artist, Tessa Sherman. I believe she lives in Virginia, North Carolina, so she can't get up here. So, and then of course, enjoy all the storyboards. So I'm last, and my love of painting, of course, is buildings, as you see from this and this one, and I like to go into infinity. I paint a lot of paintings that have been sold throughout the years that I love to go through a door, into just keep going into infinity. Then I love reflections in water, and I've got a beautiful Japanese pagoda, which is now in Japan, and this one is Granada. Granada, that's the Alhambra Palace, a part of the Alhambra Palace. And my love also is seascapes and skies. I love skies, and I love all the colors of skies, and I love thunderstorms. I've had a big success in painting very dramatic thunderstorms. And so that's who I am. And these two are not for sale. These are from my mentor. When I first started dancing, Sebastian Castro was my mentor, and he's got this fabulous little painting called La Casa Colgantes in Cuenca. They're hanging off a cliff, these houses are hanging off a cliff. This is his friend's front door. So I just wanted to bring him along because he's very much part of flamenco. And when we first started 45 years ago, under a different name, the Marialba, who was my mentor, Marialba. And when we moved to Jersey, we became Alborada Spanish Dance Theater. Then it kind of came with me because some of his choreography is still with the company today, especially the bulerías, part of that, and other parts of dances. Of course, we love to recreate choreography, and we take from this artist and that, put it all together to make a beautiful setting for our dances.
La noche de la tormenta, madre, como llovía.
all.